Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Mark from TCG Discussions coming out today with an OP13 quick deck list run through. I'm going to give you 5 decks that I think are the best decks for you to play in OP13. Side note, thank God for these 5 decks in the way that they are, because they basically force all rogue bad decks that are not going to do anything. They're never going to win. So edgelords that had no chance at winning, deciding to play their rogue or their whatever deck, yeah, they are going to get smoked in this meta. So these are the 5 decks that, in my opinion, if you're not playing these, you are just really going to be down bad, right? And let's start off with this Zoro list. This is a first place list, went 7-1, and my lord, what a unique list. Just to quickly run through it, the Scratchman of Pooh here, very interesting. I don't really know what this is going to hit. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section down below. But this is extremely 2K heavy. I mean, look, 3, 6, 10, 14 2Ks for Zoro, my lord. Koshiro is pretty obvious. This may be a little bit obvious, but this Mihawk, let's start with the Mihawk. This Mihawk is here to play the Zoro, and this Zoro allows you to set up 2 Dawn as active. So on 4 Dawn, you can play this, and then attach 3 and then swing over something. Really powerful. Then you have this 10-12 Shanks here. This is basically like a free play because you can just swing 15-15 while establishing a 10-12 body. But what breaks the deck is this. But basically, Mihawk into this was one thing, but this card was completely different. So if you have 1 or less life card, this card gains blocker. Additionally, on play, you could return 1 character to your hand, play up to 1 character that costs like 5 or less from your hand rested. 1, 2, 3, okay? Cavendish, we know what that does. This Zoro will set himself at the end of the turn as active, and Tachigi's Tashigi. I think we get it. Broken. The mid-range of this deck is so powerful now that like it has the bodies and presence on the board to just annihilate you, right? It just annihilates you. So OP13 Zoro going to be really strong. On to literally the most consistent deck of all time. Like I need to type this out. So Revolutionary Army. It's not even playing another searcher. This could play 21 drop searchers, just so that you're aware. This Sabo list, red-black from OP13 on 10-17 went 5-0. The leader has a very unique effect. It's a 5-life dual-colored leader. If you have 4 or more life cards, this card loses 1,000 power. Dawn X1, if your character costs 8 or more, all of your characters gain 1k power, and your leader gains 1k power. So that makes him swing base 6 even with his power reduction. If you have a character on the board that costs 8 or more. This Hack, very easy to get there. This Morley, very easy to get there early. This Sabo secret rare is the crutch of the deck. So activate main up to 1 of your characters gains plus 2k, that would be him. And then you give a Rested Dawn to your leader, making this an 8k blocker because this effect is through the entire turn. And then additionally, this will be able to swing for 6. And then on 8 Dawn, you can play Dragon into another one. And then Dragon into another one, or, you know, Dragon and then Roger and Stussy and whatever it is you need to do, you can do it. But look at how consistent this is. 1, 2, 3, 4 different 1-cost searchers. You are just not whiffing anything. And this card can even grab Stussy, which is just crazy. It can search Goldie Roger the whole 9 yards. So very powerful deck. This is going to be one of the top contenders in the game. Make no mistake. This is not played as much because of Emu Ace. But make no mistake, this deck can be brutally powerful. Absolutely brutally powerful. Next, moving on to Roger. 5 life, 7k leader. Won't be 7k until you have 10 Dawn on your field. That includes the turn that he goes into 10 Dawn, even if he has to attach Dawn to himself for his effect. But it's very simple on what this deck does. Search for ramp at the end of the turn, ramp, and then ramp. Okay, so you're just ramping to big body, right? And then you're very defensive. You get to be 9k during your opponent's turn between these 2 cards. Katakuri is just still one of the best, like, pound for pound value cards in the game. This Shanks promo, also super absurd. See this against Emu. On play, makes it so that your opponent can't block. And then when he swings, it makes it so your opponent can't block. This completely can just destroy Emu. Like, this card's presence on the board is so powerful. Roger, going to be a force. On 10-13 went 5-0. It's the last first place list. And I'm telling you, do not sleep on this deck. Do not think that because like Roger is not represented, that this deck can't just be played and completely wax you. This is going to be like the new Shanks. It's kind of a dice roll deck, but when it high rolls, it's extremely strong. Next, to the deck that everybody thinks is going to probably be the best deck in the game. I don't think this is the best deck. I think the next deck is. But Without a doubt, this has the strongest endgame of any deck I've ever seen. And if you want to know what all these cards do, please go check out my video on Emu. It's titled, I believe, Best Black Deck Ever Made. But this list is very unique for two reasons. The Sabo blocker is not played, so this 2K is not played. They opted for Saint Mosgard here. It's a searchable Celestial Dragon 2K number 1. And number 2, it has the ability to play this stage out from your trash if you need to play it in a matchup where you played it and they got rid of it. So I think this is a very, very interesting 2K. I'm not really sure if they're using this for the tech of that, but very, very cool. We've got the 1VV blocker because this just fills up the trash like none other. But there are 2 cards in particular. I'm losing my edge. So this is a 1-cost counter event. One of your leader characters gains 1k for this battle. Then if your trash has 10 or more cards, add to 1 black character card with a cost of 3 or less from your trash to your hand. So you get to add a 2k. This 2k in particular, Shirahoshi. Activate main, you may arrest this character, then return 2 cards from the bottom of your deck in any order. If your opponent has 6 or more cards in the hand, they discard a card. But the problem is that with these 2 cards in particular, you can, at 5 cards exactly in your deck, loop your deck so that you never deck out and continuously play 10 cost cards while searching, I think, a never existed to your hand in some combination. It's really broken. It's very easy to break this loop. You just need to either kill the Shirahoshi that's on the board or make it so that this, if the Workery can't draw, then the loop gets broken. The issue is still, though, that regardless of why they're playing this tech, Ace is really strong, and this card is kind of needed to address it, and we'll talk about Ace here in a second. But this deck is just powerful. It's just insanely good. So yeah, OP13 Emu, if you want a good starting point, this isn't bad. For sure, this isn't bad. Next, this is a OP13 Ace. By the way, that Emu went 8-0 on 1019. This one went 5-0 on 1018. I will say 2 things about this list in particular, just to get it out of the way. This list is extremely mirror-oriented. Why do I say that? This Atmos is here to bounce Marco. And then additionally, there's an extra red rock. I usually only play 1 of this, and that is for the new gates. So this person most likely, when they went 5-0, and anticipated a lot of Ace. Maybe it was meta relevant for the flagship that he topped, but without a doubt, this is going to be the best deck, in my opinion, in the game for a number of reasons. Unfortunately, against Emu, I think this list is lacking because it does not playing this card. This card, this Edward Newgate in particular, is extremely broken versus Emu. And if you were going to enter a meta where Emu is very heavy, and I'll explain why here in a second. But to, bump up this list, if you've never played Ace or you don't know what's going on here, this leader just generates an absurd amount of cards. Because whenever you take damage or a character with a base cost of 6,000 power or more is KO'd, you draw a card. So when Marco dies off a block, you draw 3 cards. When this card, who already on play draws you 2 cards, dies, you then get to draw another card. When Jozu dies, you get to draw another card. When this blocker may die, make it KO by Stussy, you'll draw a card. Absolutely insane, but you have to have a Dawn attached to it. This 10 cost Newgate, by the way, does attach a Dawn. You can play it for 8 off of this card. It attaches 2 Dawn to your leader, 2 Dawn to another character. So if you have Jozu on the board, he's now swinging for 9, your leader's swinging for 8. You got a 10-12 blocker. You're just going to be drawing cards. It's great. And then eventually when your opponent gets 0, there are a lot of really powerful cards, and then Goldie Roger comes down and says bye-bye. Very, 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 very sad day for your opponent. On top of the fact that during your opponent's attack, once per turn, you can just pitch a brick and then target the attacking card, and it gets minus 2k. On top of being a 6k leader with all the defenses Sec already has, is just completely absurd. But to talk about this Newgate for a second, this is the strongest card against Emu by far, because basically what happens is you play 1, they basically can't swing for anything on the board. They're not going to want to pitch 2 or 4 cards from the 2 characters that are on the board. The character that's already on, the leader that's swinging, if you already have one of these bad boys on the board, is just going to block for you anyway. That's not including if the Ace ability isn't enough to just knock you down. The subsequent turn is what happens when you play this card again. So after they activate leader ability, and they play 5 bodies to the board, and you play this card down again, they are passing the turn. They are actually just passing the turn. There's no way they're going to pitch 10 cards out of their hand to swing with everything. They're probably going to sack some cards off the board. You're going to make them draw when this card gets the inverse swing, this gets the swing or not. And then eventually when one of you guys goes to 0, Goldie Roger comes down, and then it's like this Newgate swings twice, this one swings, this swings, and then they lose. In my opinion, in the West, this card is probably going to be played a lot more. We're going to be less mirror focused because of the fact that Emu is just probably going to be played by everybody and their mother. So that's going to be it. Those are the 5 decks, guys. If you're looking for a good starting point, copy paste these lists, make some alterations in your testing, and I think that this is our meta going forward. And yes, there's a couple of cheeky decks you can play, but I promise you, you're going to have a terrible time if you think you can go up against the top 5 decks that I just showed you and think that you're not going to have a bad meta spread into 3, even if you're good into 2. So welcome to OP13, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's Marcus with TCG Discussions signing off. Laters.
起きろ起きろ起きろ